Hello, everyone. It's Shane Conto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Wasteland Watchlist here on the SPDM Crew podcasting network. And this is my weekly show where my guests and I play some movie roulette, randomly select a film from an obscenely large movie watch list, and hopefully by the end of this episode, you'll have a movie to go check out for sure. But joining me for this episode, it is our fearless leader here at the crew. It is Mike Hilty.
Hello. How's it going?
Great.
Mhm.
But we are going to be talking about a 2007 anime, Sword of the Stranger, which I wound up reading Chris Stuckman's book, Anime Impact, and wound up just adding all the shows and the movies to my watch list for both movies and television.
Very
So
nice.
that is where this came from. So
Oh,
that's how it made this list. But here's some background. So this was released September 29th, 2007 in Japan, limited US release in February 2008. Runtime about 102 minutes. Directed by Masahiro Ando. Produced by Bones Animation Studio. Nominated for Best Animated Film at the Asian Pacific Screen Awards, and Japan submitted it for Best Animated Feature for the Academy Awards. And our little synopsis here: a swordsman from a strange land is caught in a struggle between morality, righteousness, and devotion as he reluctantly agrees to take a raggedy boy and his dog to a remote Buddhist temple. But, Mike, what are your general thoughts on Sword of the Stranger?
I would like to preface this by saying that anime is just I have not found my proper entryway into anime just yet. Um that's my sidestep way of saying that I'm just not it's not for me because I feel like with any genre, you can find a good entry point and then it will unlock something in you that will continue to expand. Now, Shane, you and I have done a couple anime movies. We've talked about some Studio Ghibli stuff, but then
Yep.
for one of our episodes, we talked about Tokyo Godfathers and Perfect
Blue. Yep.
Blue, right?
Which is out in theaters right
I,
now in
I did
4K.
see that and I was like, ooh, interesting. Um, so for me, this was an interesting watch for a couple reasons. One, because I feel like those other ones that we watched, those are kind of they're very different. This to me felt like a pretty standard anime movie. Um,
Samurai.
yeah. Um, my God, the violence in this is
Oh, this is not pulled back. Trigger
rough.
warning. This is not rated.
Yeah.
First off, so there is violence, there is blood, there are limbs flying everywhere.
Mhm. But I don't know. The I love the characters in this.
Mhm.
Particularly this Ronin. Now I'm probably gonna butcher a lot of the pronunciation, so bear with me on this, but Nanashi, is that I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, right? Um,
Mhm. No
but
name.
oh, well, that makes sense, right? So
Mhm.
um he's had to do some terrible things because he was just quote following orders, right, for all of these different warlords, but he's very talented with his sword and he's vowing to keep it sheathed because he just he's done some stuff and
Mhm.
just with something like that hanging over his head most of the movie, and using that motivation to protect this young kid, um, was really great to watch. I did enjoy this a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, this was so I'm super into anime, love
Mhm.
anime. I'm probably even more into samurai films. I'm a big Akira Kurosawa fan, and I was very excited to check this out because seeing like
Mm.
Seeing the premise and everything for this, it was like this is right up my alley.
Hmm.
Love a good Ronin story. Even like, a film like Ronin, which is not a Japanese film, it's an European action film, but it really draws upon those themes and ideas. This Kamoya Nagase, who plays Nanashi, this no-name character who has gone from master to master, from
Hmm.
place to place. He looks like a foreigner, doesn't fit in, and
Hmm.
winds up taking this job to take care of this kid and this dog. You fall for all of them. Nanache, this young boy, this dog, they make such a great trio of characters that we get to spend some time with them and connect
Hmm.
with them and get to know them, and how they fit into this greater context with this conspiracy, this whole entire conflict
Hmm.
that centers around like honor and devotion and morality. And like this Nanache is desperately trying to get this boy to this Buddhist temple,
Hmm.
while all of these other people are involved and want to get in on this situation and get to this boy. It's powerful and it is thrilling, it's exciting, it's brutal for sure.
Hmm. Yeah.
For sure. And the action is fantastic. I
Oh, the
love
action is
a
really
great
great.
animated film that really leans into some action. There's so many great sword fights and conflicts and all of these different types of things with different types of creatures and these uh different enemies from different
Hmm.
places. It really comes together in that way, and it all builds up to this very satisfying, intense, wild finale
Oh, for
that
sure.
for sure. And just the battling that continues throughout the film and into the climax just really sells it. There's a lot of thematic work.
Hmm.
And this is like if you're dealing with a Ronin, you're gonna deal with devotion and righteousness and like you give that up.
Hmm.
You give up your life to this lifestyle and being part of this order and stuff like that. And there's a lot of honor that you see throughout this film in terms of how that's portrayed. And there's some twists and turns. There's a lot of players here trying to get in on this young boy and trying to get him.
Hmm.
And it's exciting to see this warrior stepping up and protecting him for sure.
Yeah. The it's interesting because this has a lot of elements of like this is kind of a found family road trippy movie, but also at the same time it's just set in this fantastical world as well. And
Mhm.
I think that's kind of just what heightens it. Some of the different things that they encounter on the road in essence. So I did I did find the animation also just it's gorgeous. I really enjoyed the animation style. Like, did this completely unlock me to anime? No, but am
Mhm.
I am I considering keeping my Crunchyroll subscription rolling past its 7-day trial? Yeah, probably because there's there's a lot to explore here and just I'm so glad that you thought up like you mentioned the thematics or the
Yep.
thematics like the themes in
Yeah.
here and the just what this is ultimately trying to say about things like pacifism and you
Mhm.
know your what happens when your priorities shift and you have a particular set of skills that you don't want to use anymore except to protect versus
Mhm.
harm. Um, a lot of those are just really, really fascinating to me. And the fact that the Nashi is an outsider in essence, like he has to dye his
Mhm.
hair so that
Yep.
he's not caught. Um, that adds another element of intrigue in here as well about acceptance and kind of what makes this trio kind of even more endearing because they're all
Mhm.
kind of outsiders in a way and for them to find each other and to for this to end in a way that's like, oh, we're just going to start a life together.
Hmm.
It's really heartwarming, and given everything that they went through, like they absolutely deserve to have a happy life together, right?
Well, and this is one of those films that certainly wears its influences on its sleeve
Hmm.
because there's so many other stories, samurai films, or so many other types of films like westerns like Shane and stuff like that that really like have its fingerprints on this film. But it's one
Hmm.
of those films that's executed so perfectly that you're fine with it not it feeling a bit derivative
Yeah.
and not being the most unique film. And this one really grabbed my attention. I would love to watch this again.
Hmm.
This actually got relatively high on my like 2007 ranking
Yeah.
when I wound up logging this. And 2007 was a strong year for film, for
Yes, it
sure.
was.
This was No Country, There Will Be Blood, Ratatouille, Zodiac, a lot of great films. And I think it's a close to great film. Maybe if it was felt a little bit more unique and fresh, but it's the action, the presentation of it all, the animation, all those types of things, strong voice acting, and just some really impressive direction from Masashiro Ando,
Mhm.
who really does a great job of bringing this to life. And Masahiro Ando was worked on the original elements of this film at under his moniker Bones. So
Mm.
like that's who created this. And this is I think this is obviously it's a little bit more violent, bloody, but I do think that like this is has some pretty standard affairs of these types of films that I think it does a good enough job to lay things down where somebody can come in and watch this and feel like, oh, I appreciate this, and hopefully they expand and look at other Japanese cinema and stuff like that. Especially those old samurai films. But
Mhm.
this was one that blew me away a decent amount, and it was right up my alley, and I had a blast with it.
Yeah. This is one where finding finding a particular type of story in within anime, I think, is probably going to be my best way to figure out what I want to watch. And the samurai, the Ronin stuff, I'm fascinated by it. Um, and good timing as well because Shogun came out
Mhm.
recently. So if that's up your alley, this is kind of not like exactly like that, but it follows a lot of similar story beats about, outsider, infiltrating or not infiltrating, but like being assimilated more into this Japanese culture,
Mhm.
and the pull between your culture and the culture that you want to be or that you're putting yourself out there to be a part of. And yeah, there's a lot to really enjoy about this one, and I'm very much looking forward to utilizing my Crunchyroll subscription moving forward.
There you go. Well, I'm glad that this was highlighted in the Anime Impact book because then I found out about it and I checked it out.
Hmm.
And I'm always down for finding more anime, especially more samurai stories and stuff like that. So this was a winner for sure.
Hmm.
Mike, thank you as always for always coming on and talking some movies with me.
I appreciate you always having me on, and I look forward to whatever the wheel comes up with that get to watch again soon.
Spin the wheel.
Mhm.
But thank all of you for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. What is your favorite, more adult oriented, actiony kind of anime? What's your favorite samurai flick? Make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPDM Crew podcasting network is ever expanding. We have so many great shows with all different types of interests. You'll certainly find something for you. And if you're interested in being part of the crew by becoming a guest on a show like this Wasteland Watchlist, or if you Want to start your own podcast? Reach out to us on our website. If you like our logo, check out HiFlyer Creative for all your digital marketing needs. But most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the Wasteland Watchlist here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.